as a sales manager for the Indian subcontinent. So yeah, so today I'll be talking about decoding the muscle activity, which is application of electromyography or EMG in terms of human spaceflight applications. So what are we going to cover today? It will be mainly who we are in terms of DELSIS, then what is EMG, a basic small definition, then real world examples where we have a couple of use cases, then application in detail and EMG in spaceflight. So in DELSIS, we are based out of Boston, US, and we are a world leader in electromyography. We design, manufacture EMG sensors. We are in the EMG field for about close to 7 decades. So our founder is Carlo De Luca. If you are aware about the EMG, if you are in the EMG research side, you must know Carlo De Luca. So electromyography is the study of muscle function through the electrical signals produced from our body. So there is a book written by Professor De Luca and Basmajan. The book is called Muscles Alive. So this will talk in detail about the EMG use cases in terms of where it is of field. It's not only applicable in terms of space research. It can be used in sports science, biomechanics, assisted devices. There are many use cases. So in specific to human spaceflight context, so it's in Earth, we take gravity for granted, right? But it's not the same case in the space. So that's why it's important to study the muscle changes in, let's say, like in space. What's happening in terms of muscle when there is a, let's say, like altered gravity. So that's what EMG is very essential in terms of studying about the physiological changes in the human. So this is one of the study done by ESA. I think it's the facility in Milan. So it's a zero gravity facility. They try to simulate the lunar gravity. They have a couple of motion capture cameras, EMGs, force plate, instrument, treadmill, everything. So it's one of our customer where they study the physiological changes in altered gravity and zero gravity. They just simulate the particular environment and study the effects. This is when we started working with NASA directly back in like 1990s and 2000, early 2000. So we created an EMG device specifically which can fit inside the space suit, as well as in terms of like advanced resistive access devices and a couple of other space-related use cases. Then we also associated with the project in terms of motor did this project back in around like again 2000. So by looking at a couple of articles, I broadly classify EMGs into these main areas: astronaut health, then comes the neurophysiology, then human machine interaction and spacesuit design. Why EMG is crucial in spaceflight? Because it helps in measuring the muscle activity real time. So the astronaut need not wait until they come back to Earth to get to know that the muscle is deteriorating or not. So they can get, let's say, like personalized measures in space itself, during the space flight itself. So the main point is like it helps in measuring the muscle activity real time. Then post missions, if we have a, let's say, like preset like baseline data values available, once the astronaut comes back, we can create a customized rehabilitation protocol or intervention according to the astronaut health. Then it also, it's EMG is not only measuring the strength as such, It also helps in analyzing the motor unit recruitment, muscle firing pattern, fatigue patterns, everything. And the microgravity effect on muscles, like microgravity, it mainly affects, let's say, the stabilizing muscles of the body. I would say like spinal muscles, leg muscles, those are the mostly affected in terms of the microgravity effects. So is there a way in which can we, let's say, like yearly predict the muscle firing patterns and the visible muscle loss? So that's when EMG can be utilized to yearly predict these and create a customized interventions. Then studying the neuromuscular adaptation, there is a saying in neuroscience, neurons will fire together, neurons that are fired together will wire together. That's the neuroscience phrase. And it's in real life, in neuromuscular changes happens in a certain way. But when we go to space, again, the neural activity rewires itself. So there is a loss of proprioception, then there is a loss of body awareness. So these are the contributing factors in terms of neuromuscular changes in space. So is there a way to, again, analyze these details? Once the astronaut comes back, can we get him back on feet with the same level? So that's where the studying the motor unit recruitment pattern is essential and much needed. So astronaut health monitoring. So this is where I think after the session you can come down and look at our products. It's portable. You can fix it within your astronaut suit itself. So the health monitoring can be done real time throughout the day. So it can help in, let's say, like even in the space flight, you can use this equipment when somebody is under some exercise machines. So that way it will give you more. So that way. So let's say with the help of EVS suit, astronauts are going into the spacewalks or something, we can clearly identify when the individual is going into fatigue stage so that we can make like sort of necessary changes towards the astronaut. So once they come back, it can be used in terms of post-mission activities, where we have P-line databases values, where we can compare pre-test and post-flight activities and look into where we need to focus our intervention, whether it's muscular oriented or is it balance oriented, those kind of aspects. Exercise countermeasures, validation using EMG. So the space flights will have couple of exercise missions inbuilt. So there we can use sort of EMG to again analyze the muscle data and make a informed decision on the exercise prescription. And interesting part is like robotic control and human machine interface. You can use EMG signal to even, let's say, like control a cobot in terms of teleoperation. There are a couple of studies available. I'll be happy to share that as well. But again, that's an emerging concept which we are noticing. And again, one of our primary customers are ESA and DLR in Germany. And supporting spacesuit and tool design, you can we tend to create the spacesuit design and everything. We can use sort of this muscle activity to analyze where the stress is going when the spacesuit is put on. So those kind of design changes, ergonomical changes can be done for the devices. And EMG is not only for, let's say, like collecting data from an individual. You can even collect data and simulate these data and come up with sort of customized solution, which is for individual specific as well. So there are many biomechanical engines available. Let's say like musculoskeletal modeling softwares, anybody or OpenSim. So you can collect this data, give this as an input to the biomechanical engines, then you can do your simulation, then come up with the viable solutions. To give it as a summary, I just put these application areas, then purpose and the example of couple of what we have discussed. In terms of Trinity ecosystem, so we are mainly into EMG, electromyography, starting from the conventional EMG to all the way up to the high density EMG. Then when we started looking into the physiological side, EMG is not the only physiological signal. There are other physiological signals also available. So we tend to integrate with a couple of other physiological modalities like Polar, which measures the heart rate, VO2 master for the metabolic activities. Then MOXIE is for the muscle oxygen saturation on the localized region. Then WAGO is for the incremental testing and stuff like that. So these are a couple of our hardware integration partners where we can give it as a full-fledged solution in terms of physiological area. Then couple of engineers are interested in like collecting that data, directly streaming into a couple of the software engines like Python, C#, Unity, even Linux. So we stream our data through our DLCC API. I'll stop my presentation right here. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer.